Welcome to the Here's My Story channel. I'm Daniel. Ever since I was little, I've always loved helping people. Once, when I was in primary school, I saw an old lady lying on the sidewalk and shivering. I took off my coat and laid it over her. When I came home, my mom was shocked to see me without my coat because it was snowing outside. After I explained why, she hugged me and said, "I'm proud of you." My dad had the complete opposite reaction.
"This can't be my son," he roared. "You're letting people use you. If you keep acting so naive, people will walk all over you."
Years passed. I didn't change. Touching people's lives in some way always made me feel good. My dad owns a big hotel. I didn't see him much, but that was kind of a relief most of the time. That was until my life was suddenly upended. I lost my mom, and now my dad had to take care of me. Like always, he'd give me a hard time whenever I'd reach out to help someone in need. One day, a friend from school asked me, "The kitchen at the homeless shelter needs volunteers. You free to help?" I was happy to help, so my friend and I went to the shelter after school. One of the staff pointed to a massive pile of potatoes. "Let's get to it," I said with a smile. Hours passed, but we worked diligently, knowing that our work was for a good cause. I was so tired, but I had the best sleep ever. My friend couldn't make it the next day, so I went to the shelter by myself. This time, I chopped carrots for hours. At dinner, I took my place behind the counter, serving hot bowls of beef stew brimming with carrots. I made a lot of friends there that day. A guy in his mid-40s named Tyler gave me a big smile as he placed a bowl on his tray.
"Nothing feeds the soul like a hot meal," he said.
Afterward, I volunteered to wash dishes, so it was super late when I got home. My dad was impatiently waiting for me.
"Why do you smell like beef? Where have you been?" he asked.
The stew gave me away, so I couldn't lie to him. When he found out that I volunteered at a shelter for the homeless, his annoyance turned into seething anger.
"Just like your mother," he growled. "How can you be so naive? From now on, you're coming to the hotel every day straight from school. Am I understood?"
Yes, sir, I stuttered in reply. My dad's hotel is one of the best luxury hotels in the city. The hotel has wealthy patrons, so the room prices are high. He put me to work as a bellhop, carrying the guests' luggage up to their rooms. My work ethic must have made an impression because the tips I was getting were jaw-dropping. Suddenly, I had an idea. If I couldn't give my time to the shelter, I could at least donate my tips. While my dad was away on a business trip, I visited the shelter one weekend. I entered the management office with an envelope full of the tips I'd been collecting at the hotel. The lady behind the desk handed me the sign-up sheet. She opened the envelope, practically leaping out of her chair when she saw the money inside. I joined the rest of the volunteers in the kitchen and noticed Tyler chopping onions. Homeless people often volunteer to keep the kitchen running and the facilities clean. When we were done, Tyler wiped his eyes and said,
"Come on, let me buy you a cup of coffee."
We took a bus to a local coffee shop downtown, sat down on a bench, and started talking. As it turns out, Tyler had a job and was working hard to get back on his feet. "How did you end up homeless when you have a job, if you don't mind me asking?" I said.
"I'd saved up for 8 years working as the general manager at a fancy hotel. My older brother was an accountant, good with numbers, so we decided to quit our jobs and start a business together. We renovated an old building with the help of some contractor buddies and opened the best hotel in the city. Things were tough at first. Like most new businesses, we were operating at a loss, and we needed cash flow. I took a loan out against my condo in the city, but that still wasn't enough. So I sold the place to pay back the loan and started living in one of the hotel rooms. Months passed, and my brother said we still had to reduce expenses and bring on some investors to stay afloat, so he gave me the paperwork. I was stressed. I figured he knew how to handle the money side, so I signed. Didn't even read any of it. Turns out I had signed away my share of the business to him. Next morning, everything I had left was on the curb. I'll never forget what he said to me. "This is your problem. Get your things together and get out." Noah didn't even have the decency to put up for storage, or even a cab for that matter.
"Your brother's a hotel owner named Noah?" I asked, bewildered. He was surprised as well.
"Yeah, you know him?"
he replied. "He's my dad," I said. We both sat silently for a moment until Tyler stood up and gave me a hug. Turns out he was my uncle. I was so sad for him. I couldn't believe my dad did this to his own brother. After so many years, I found out I had an uncle. We chatted for hours. Meanwhile, a car stopped by the curb. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw who the driver was. It was one of YouTube's biggest creators, Mr. Beast. Hold this, he said, throwing us the bag he was holding. I caught it in the air. He smiled and said, I bought $10,000 of scratch-off tickets and put them in that bag. We did a video with scratch-off tickets today. Those are what's left from the shoot. I was dumbfounded. Don't worry, I'm not filming, Mr. Beast said. I saw you guys while I was waiting at the red light. I like that you were chatting and enjoying each other's company. These tickets are my gift to you. He hit the gas and drove off. Uncle Tyler and I stared at each other in disbelief. I opened the bag impatiently. There were so many scratch-off tickets inside. With a bit of luck, we could win thousands of dollars. Mr. Beast had done us a huge favor. We went to a quiet corner of the park and began scratching the lottery tickets. The first few dozen tickets gave us nothing, but suddenly Uncle Tyler jumped up. $500! I gave him a high five. Then we went back to scratching. I won 2 $10 prizes and then a $100 bonus. Uncle Tyler screamed again. $1,000! Guess your luck hasn't run out after all, I said, letting out a big laugh. I dipped my hand into the bag and fished out another scratch card. The card started with the number 1, but each flick of my wrist seemed to reveal another 0. 1 0, 2 zeros, 3 zeros, 4 zeros. Is it $10,000? I asked myself. 5 zeros? 6 zeros? 7 zeros? It's 10 million. 10 million, I gasped in excitement. Incredulous, Uncle Tyler looked at me. What? 10 million? He said, grabbing the ticket. He lifted up his head. There are 8 zeros here. That's 100 million, Daniel. We won $100 million, he said. That day, thanks to Mr. Beast, we won $100,012,300. We became multi-millionaires overnight. A few days later, Uncle Tyler closed the deal on a lovely new home, and I started thinking about what we could do for our friends at the shelter. When I shared a few ideas with Uncle Tyler, he loved it. The next day, my dad was in for a surprise. I showed up to work at the hotel. I hadn't spoken a word of what had happened to my dad. I barged into his office. He was in a meeting with the supervisors. Dad, you need to see this. Come with me to the reception desk, I said. How many times do I need to tell you you can't call me Dad at the office? What is it? Why do you need me there? He grumbled. Come and see for yourself, I said, and left the room. There were around 50 homeless people in the lobby. When my dad saw them, he started screaming. What is going on here? Who let them in? Get them out! They'll drive away business! Get out now, all of you! The guy at the reception desk said, Sir, they all have reservations, and all the rooms were paid for in cash. There's nothing we can do. I'm getting the rooms ready. How can they have reservations? This is the most expensive hotel in the city. Who's paying for them? My dad asked angrily. The guy at the reception desk looked at his screen. The party's name is under Tyler. No last name, he replied with a shrug. Tyler. Who the heck is Tyler? My dad shouted. Uncle Tyler had been standing among the crowd. Come on, Noah, he said. It's me. Are you telling me you don't recognize your own brother? My dad was shocked. You? How is this possible? What are you doing here? I don't want you in my hotel. Security! Kick this man to the curb, along with the rest of them! Dad was so angry, you could practically hear him grinding his teeth. Uncle Tyler laughed in his face and said, Every room is already booked and paid for over the next few weeks. Now, you can lose out on hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of business during the off-season, or you can get used to seeing me and my friends a lot more around here. My dad was red with fury. Uncle Tyler kept going. By the way, I've also taken the liberty of buying the building from one of your investors. My partner and I are your new landlords, so you'll be seeing a lot more of me as well. Uncle Tyler was dropping bombs one after the other. I'd never seen my dad so desperate and confused. You bought this building? But he wasn't selling to me. How did you convince him? Who's your partner? He asked. Tyler laughed. You never were much of a people person, Noah. Let's just say I know how to treat the patrons right. Uncle Tyler gestured in my direction. Oh, and I think you know Daniel. He's my partner. My dad turned to me livid. What kind of games are you playing behind my back? How dare you do this to me? I'm going to disown you. You're not my son anymore, he roared. I couldn't forgive my dad for doing what he did to Uncle Tyler. It made me even angrier just hearing him speak. I suggest watching your volume around the landlords. After all, there are strict noise disturbance policies. We could easily have you kicked out, I said. At that moment, I saw the rage in my dad's eyes turn to jealousy. Typical Noah, Uncle Tyler said. From that day on, my dad's life got harder and harder. We were booking 50 rooms for the homeless every day. Regular hotel guests began to leave. We increased the number of our daily bookings to 100 rooms. Before long, my dad's hotel became known as the most luxurious homeless shelter in the world.